Okay, I'll do another little update. This is La Armada Housing Complex. This is on the west side of Corpus Christi, and I kind of did a little tour. If I visited my friend David Martin, and I knocked on the door and there was no answer. If David answered and wanted to share his testimony today, I would have talked a little bit. But then I thought if he doesn't answer, I'll just do one from this area. And why do it in La Armada? A lot of people that advocate, let's talk a little bit about the Kohler Times and local news. A lot of people that advocate for the minority community, which I do, and they run articles in the Kohler Times, or they say, we are for the Hispanic, we're for the immigrant, and then they also at times play the race card and say, but the white president or whoever, he's making policies because he does not like the skin color of Latinos or whatever. But many of those people, whether it's Nick Jimenez or whoever, they never really participate in the businesses in this area. You don't see them walking the streets. And it shows to me that the white liberals who advocate, for the minorities, yet they have the mindset, I could never be in that community, because they themselves associate this side of town with crime, and they associate it themselves with the Latino skin. And that's the hypocrisy of it. And when I mentioned on the Kohler Times opinion piece the other day, it was from a day before, because I didn't have a chance to read the paper, so I read it like the next day. But what the Kohler Times advocated for was, they said, some of the Mexicans that are crossing the border, in essence, are useless, because they said the majority of them are useful, but the ones with drug problems and crime problems, the Kohler Times themselves, not realizing it, showed their racism. They said, but those that are associated with this part of Corpus Christi, some that have drug problems, some that have, they said they were useless. And so in the debate in the country, in the debate about race, if you want to advocate, the editorial board of the Kohler Times, the white faces I see, Tom Whitehurst and the other names, if you want to advocate, then be willing to be boots on the ground. Be willing to really reach out to a white homeless person, to a Hispanic, and don't yourselves play into the whole racial politics that goes on. Because I'll vouch, when I walk through, today I won't walk the whole thing, but I've walked all through La Armada, all the way down to Port. From Port, it's about 3-5 mile walk, all the way to Oscar, my mechanic, which is all the way at the end of Port, and you hit Agnes Street. And I love walking this area. I love the west side of Corpus Christi. I used to walk, right over there is Ayers Street. And I used to walk all of Ayers. And when I took this little ride just now, it reminded me. I used to walk all up and down Ayers. I love that area. You identify with the people you claim to advocate for, and don't hide in the Kohler Times building or the courthouse or whatever, and you say, we are for the underprivileged, and that you hide. Okay, so this is from La Armada.